And today in this room, we have many of those great minds. And to welcome them and encourage them, we would like to welcome the Chief Executive of the Securities and Futures Commission of Hong Kong, Ms. Julia Leung. Please take the stage. Thank you.
The Honorable Mr. Paul Chan, Eddie, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. On behalf of the Securities and Futures Commission, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, and the Academy of Finance, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you, especially those who have traveled far and wide to come to Hong Kong and staying for the second day. For many years, researchers have been tracking the world's economic gravity, noting that a progressive shift to east. The shift began to accelerate 20 years ago, pulling the center of gravity towards this part of the world, Asia Pacific. Today, the center of gravity in asset management has, without doubt, moved to this very room in Hong Kong. To put it in numbers, our speakers today manage more than 20 trillion in AUM, US dollar. This is not counting the AUM of this audience. This speaks volumes about the pool of this summit as well as a major financial event and of Hong Kong as a global asset and wealth management center. The theme of the financial summit for these 2 days is living with complexity, which this audience know all too well. In fact, we speak of complexity in plural terms, and as recent global events and new layers to the already complicated landscape for money managers and investors. The macro trends were explored yesterday with our speakers, so I'll just check off a few on these key events, key factors to kick off today's discussion. First is reversing the lower for longer policy expectations for past decade to higher for longer. It was as if the word easing has just been thrown out of the window as the US dollar marched to a 20-year high. The interest rate cycle may be on its last legs, but it's for how high and for how long remains an open question. Second is deglobalization. This reverses globalization, which had been a deflationary force for the last 2 decades and lifted China to be the manufacturing power hub. It also kept prices and costs stable worldwide. Where inflation would land post-globalization is an open question. Third, the disruption to global supply chains is accelerated by geopolitical tensions, which conflict national security concerns with trade frictions and technology competition in an increasingly divided world. A common thread running through these themes is an undercurrent of political fragmentation. This drives the political parties, societies, and people in general far apart towards the two poles of the political spectrum, squeezing the middle ground for consensus building. And this state of political divide is not conducive to resolving a slow-burning crisis, but nonetheless existential threat of our time, and that is climate change. This will take decades of united global action without delay from all of us, including the money managers in this room. Potentially, another existential threat to human beings is AI innovation, but it also is a big opportunity for those who participated in yesterday's discussion. On this, the global leaders have just met and agreed to regulate, while financial regulators are like ourselves, we welcome the use of innovation, but only responsibly, and we're thinking of how to mitigate that risk. We are at an important inflection point in history. In the work of Ken Griffin yesterday, he said, and I totally associated with it, we've seen more crises in the last few years than all of our career. But as the good old Chinese saying said, 危中有机, which means in every crisis lies an opportunity. If not properly managed, risks will put you in the red, but certainly put you out of existence in extreme cases. But harness it well, you can turn risk into a boom into your business. Such is the state of affairs in this complex investment landscape. And yesterday, bankers talk about change in business model. Today, we have a room full of seasoned asset managers gracing us with a wealth of experience to untangle this complexity, forge consensus, and navigate uncharted waters. Together, we will apply the Chinese wisdom of turning a crisis into opportunities through new asset allocation strategies for public or private market, active or passive, Asia Pacific or elsewhere, green or different shades of brown. We will also map out a course for the future of finance and learn the art of risk-taking in this not too simple world. So let us begin. Thank you.